Good morning, everybody. Thought I'd get up this morning and do me a quick video. I'm I'm like y'all. I'm just you can't. It's hard to watch the news. The first thing I saw this morning when I got up on my Twitter feed was a headline: Proud Boy leader gets 3 months in jail for burning the Black Lives Matter flag. You can go to jail for burning a Black Lives Matter flag now. Wow. That's, uh, what do you say to that? I mean, good God. It's over now. It's all over now. It just, wow. What do you, I'm speechless. I mean, that right there, when I saw that, how many, wow. Wow. In my lifetime, I don't know how many times the debate's been up about burning the American flag. Those people that are like, oh, no, man, it can't even touch the ground. If it gets a tear, it has to be, ritualistically disposed of. And then there's the people that are like, it doesn't matter. It's just a way to, tell the government you hate them. It's a sign of protest. And so you're like, okay, well, most people, agree. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. No good reason to burn the flag. I mean, if you want to, you have the right to. But nobody goes to jail. Nobody goes to jail. You can burn all the American flags you want. You can buy a pile of them. And you don't go to jail. But you burn a Black Lives Matter flag, you're going to jail. But I got to caveat all this. The guy who is the supposed leader of the Proud Boys is I believe, Secret Service or FBI, one or the other. Secret Service, FBI. He's ex, or he may still be, partially. But this is another psyop. It's another psyop. How many people are gonna, hey Vic, how many people are gonna lose their minds when they see somebody got a jail sentence for burning a Black Lives Matter flag? Boom, that's gonna, oh man. There's gonna be some people just lose their minds over that. And I mean, my initial reaction was, what? Really? I mean, wow. I mean, I don't know. I got to read the article. I got to read the claim, but how they got him into court over it. But just the premise that you could receive a sentence for burning any flag, the American flag, right here at the top. Yeah, you might get in trouble for that. Everybody can say that. But anything else, it's like, will I get in trouble for burning the Walmart flag? What's next? I get burnt. I get in trouble for burning the freaking Pfizer flag. What is it? Oh, did y'all see what the deal is now? What's gonna happen? Since the FDA Rush approved the Pfizer, they're gonna use that to go mandatory. FDA has approved it. No risk now. Mandatory. FDA says everybody needs it. We follow FDA. If you don't follow FDA, then you're all going to die. So you have to follow FDA. Morning, Stu. What's up, bud? This is just, wow. It's getting out of hand, folks. It's getting out of hand real fast. And all this stuff with Biden, I mean, the buffoonery, the total disregard for just protocol. I mean, for just optics, all that. I saw the little clip yesterday of Saki. Oh, Saki got upset with that reporter, man. Right. So, I mean, that's what they're going to do. They're going to be like, hey, Pfizer, it's been approved by the FDA. They took their time. They went through the process. Everybody needs it. Take it. It's going to get, it was getting weird. Now it's just getting evil. Let's just say it for what it is. It's getting evil. I mean, because never, ever before, ever, even the worst countries, has there been such a loss, boom, of freedoms. I mean, our freedoms have gone just straight downhill. I remember when I was a kid, they always had the stats. America up until the 80s, America, #1 in math, sciences, our education system is the best. And then, government got involved. And then when I was in high school, the first ones came out about, well, we've slipped to like 7th. We've slipped to 10th. We've slipped now, where are we? We're like 35th in freedoms and education. And nobody cares. America is now a fat, complicit indoor cat. Hey, Tony, morning. We're indoor cats now. You look around. I watched some Witsit Gets It yesterday. He talked about his citation he got for free speech in Yellowstone National Park. Nuts, crazy. Yeah. The system is definitely run by crooks and thieves. That's for sure. Well, he was talking about, and I hadn't thought about it this way, but geez, guys, there's a lot of soy boys out there. There are a lot of indoor cats out there. Where are the real men? Where are the real men standing up saying, no, I'm not for my family, not for me. And he made a good point that too many couples, too many families. The wife says, we're all getting it. And the husband, yes, dear. Why, yes, dear. Now, my wife, she chose to get it. I told her, ain't no way I'm ever getting it. And that was the end of it. My daughter got it. Y'all do what you want, man. I'm a grown man. I ain't doing it. But if I had little kids, if I had kids still in the house, high school, anything, they're not taking it. I don't care what my wife says. They're not going to take it. I won't let them. When they turn 18, they can make their own decision. That's different. But where are the men? Where are the men? If we're in, and I think Alan talked about this on his show a few times, but if we're in the era they're talking about that the modern Christian theology says we're in, that we're leading up to the return of Christ. Alan and I have talked about it. We've all talked about it together. Just show me one of the 7 churches in the first verse of Revelations. Just show me one. Because any one of those 7 churches is a very righteous church. Except for, which one was it? That's lukewarm. There was one that was lukewarm, but no, of them are they're pretty good, man. Hey, y'all, morning, buddy. That, all of them are all pretty good churches. I'd like to be there. I want to be with one of those churches if that's a situation, because that's probably the biggest conglomerations of righteous people on this flat earth. And if these are those times, where are they? Where are they? And, biblically, why would God send all those disciples, send all those newly ordained 80, 78, 81 people out across the flat earth to spread the word if the time wasn't near, if it wasn't at hand? I mean, we've talked about this a lot. How did these PhDs in biblical philosophy read those verses and go, it's metaphor. It didn't mean us. It didn't mean them. I mean, they meant us. Daniel was talking about the future. Yeah, Daniel was talking about a few years in the future, not 2,000 years in the future. They just weren't. If you've studied the Bible and you've prayed enough, you've got to know, and you've got to have had the feeling that, and you've got to just realize that Jesus never lied to people. Well, he didn't lie to people. And he stood in front of you and told you, this is This is the way. It's the way. And he tells you, you're going to see my return. Your generation is going to see it. Right, yeah. But if we, I guess, maybe somebody writes the book in a form of Harry Potter or 50 Shades of Grey or something, and maybe people would read it and believe it. I don't know what to do. It's just getting there. It's getting there, folks. Can y'all feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel what the Lord is cooking? I mean, it's on the burner and it's turned up. It's definitely turned up. And man, and poor Ella over in Australia, guys, man, y'all seeing that? What they're doing over there? Yeah, Vic. I mean, if we don't, if this Christian community does not feel it, feel that negative vibration coming, feel that when you turn on the TV, whoosh, it's almost like you turned on an oven that just a burst of negative, evil information, and it's all disinformation. Yeah, right, yeah, and we, the straight, white, heterosexual Christian male. Would you have ever thought that we'd be on the government's terrorist list? I mean, wow, really? Yeah, and the TV comes on at the pump. First time I saw one of those, I was like, oh man, can't y'all leave us alone? Just let us pump gas and smell the fumes on our own without interrupting us. You just won't leave us alone. But I was telling Alan yesterday, because he's talking, we've all talked about, is there going to be like a camp, a compound, an area where people migrate to for some relief? And I told Alan I'd watched a little deal yesterday. I'd seen it before, but I hadn't remembered it. Out in California, that Slab City. I mean, y'all seen Slab City? It's an old military base where they tore down the buildings, but all the concrete slabs are left. And they set up a big community out there. It's all free. Just go find you a little squat of land and go live there. Do your thing. But we as Christians, especially Christian men, all our women, man, all of you guys, all you women are just y'all are strong examples. You have the word on your heart. But the Bible puts the hierarchy as God, man, woman, child. And that's for a reason. Men are supposed to step up and be the leaders. Be the leaders in their family first, then their community and their church. And it's not happening. Just not happening. Where are all the good men? Sounds like a song for some reason. When I said it, it's not a song. But on that note, feel bad. Abilene, Wylie, baseball team from out where I just moved from. Wylie is a school district of Abilene. And they were in the Little League World Series. And they lost yesterday, 6-5. They had a big rain delay. Played the first inning in like 3-hour rain delay, and it was bad. Those games are hard to play, but they're still in it. They can come in through the losers bracket. Hey, baby. Hi, Seven. Hi, Joker. You've been outside. You better now. But yeah. So say a prayer for the Abilene Wylie baseball team. Little guys are doing it to it, man. They're doing it to it, and it's a pretty neat little story about Abilene Wylie. When I was in high school, they formed that district, and it was little. It was like a 1A district, and it wasn't a year or two that they had been a school district that they won state championship in football. And everybody's like, what's going on over there in Abilene? What's that going on? Well, like West Texas, Evertown has done it. all the people that can do it financially, they get together and go, look, this school district ain't doing it for us. This school district ain't doing it for us. We're going to start another one, and we're going to do it our way. And the dynamic is always, because they have the money to do it, it's kind of like they get to stack a team. They get to stack a team, man, every year. Go out into the other school district and talk to those kids' parents who are good athletes and go, hey, man, you know, get you a good deal on a house over here in Wylie School District. Get out of here. Get out of this school district. It's terrible. And now they're in 4A, and I believe they went to one state about 4 years ago or 5. So since they've been in existence, they've done it pretty well. They've gone to the top. But they're in Williamsport. Pray for them. Pray for them to have a good game, get through this thing, and get to the finals. That'd be great. Bring home a championship to West Texas. Hadn't had one in West Texas. Texas has had several in the League World Series, but West Texas hadn't had one. We need one. It's time to step up for West Texas. West. Yeah, we don't do that. We do not do that. On the news, it just, wow. It gets me thinking every time that, well, okay, this is what they're doing. How do we navigate? Well, I've said it before, and I truly believe this. That those of us who are walking in the Word, keeping faith, doing your due diligence, it's going to be kind of like we're going to just kind of navigate through this kind of unscathed. I mean, we're probably going to see some times where, hard to find stuff at the grocery store. Hey, Ella, there's going to be times, where we might not be able to do or go where we want, but I don't believe we're going to be tasked to the point where, we're going to financially be in straits, or we're going to be in a way where we can't feed our families, because the Christian community will take care of each other. I had told my wife over the last several years, it's like we're in a bubble, and you see all around you all this stuff going on, and you see people getting sick, and you see people having financial difficulties, losing jobs, boom. I mean, just tough times. And humbly, I say, our station in life, our situation has gotten better. We've been more and more blessings. And only thing I attribute to it is God's love. I mean, we're doing our part. We're taking care of our family and our friends, and we're keeping our faith, and so God's blessing us. Right, Ella? I agree. Yeah. When you look around at what's going on in your neck of the woods there, Ellen, wow. I can imagine that. And I think they changed y'all's deal from 3 kilometers from your house down to 1. Isn't that that's less than a mile from your own home? I mean, that's crazy. Oh, it's Nicole. I'm sorry. I just saw. I'm sorry. It's early, Nicole. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. But you know what I'm talking about. From Virginia. Oh man, Virginia. How's Virginia doing? Y'all got a crazy governor there in Virginia. He's a BLM guy, is he not? I'm pretty sure he's pretty fascistic fella. But are y'all seeing this dynamic that's playing out on the political field with this Joe Biden buffoonery? It just keeps getting more and more absurd, and everybody just keeps going, what in the heck is going on? And then he does this whole thing with Afghanistan. And I just like, man, this is building the stage for them to bring Trump back in, and under the guise of, we've got to save America. Look what Joe's done. And Trump the other day at his rally in Alabama's going, get the vaccine. I'm the one that did it. Do it. I did it. Do it. You need to take the vaccine. And a lot of people are going, no, okay, wait a minute. I was with you, Trump, until you're doing this to us. Well, come on, guys. Come on, guys. You go down the middle with Jesus. No, Nicole, hang on, babe. Jesus is not down the middle. Jesus is way out of their league. Their lane ain't even close to Jesus' lane. If you're following the Lord, you can't even see their lane. You know? You don't watch the news? Well, see, I think we've got to watch the news to see what they're doing, where they're spinning it. So we're not caught off guard. We got to pay attention. We have to. Middle road. Okay? But we got to pay attention to these people. They're sneaking stuff in on us, and if you don't pay attention, you won't see it coming. We gotta keep our heads on a swivel, because the truth community, narrow path, straight and narrow. You're getting it, Nicole. You're getting there. Hey, there's Ella. See, Nicole, I knew what I was talking about. I knew one of our intelligent women. Now we got them all in here. Everybody's here. But we, when you see, and the narrative they're pushing, it's more easy to navigate their lies. And it was on What's It Still yesterday. He was talking about he went for a citation. I don't know how many of y'all watched it, but he's like, they send me a deal to do a Skype deal, and so I tell them okay, and they email it to the wrong address, and then they finally get it to me, and I send it in. I get nothing. I travel. You out of here, baby? Love you. And he says, so I drive all the way back there. He says, my court case is at 9 o'clock. At about 8 o'clock, I get an email. Saying, oh, you've been granted a Skype appearance. And he's already there. So he goes in. He says, and they give him grief. He has to go through all the security. The lady comes out and tells him, yeah, when you go in, you're going to have to wear a mask. And he's like, I don't think so. I'm not going to wear a mask. And she gets real shitty with him. And she says, okay, well, let me go check. And she says, okay, you can do the remote. He's in his RV. He says, okay. So I went out to my remote and set up. And he said, you too, honey. Thank you, Nicole. And so she says, go out there. You can do it. Then they're on, and they mumble to each other, and he hears the judge say, you want to go tell him? So they shut it down, and they go out and tell him, you can come in and face the judge, but you have to wear a mask. If you don't wear a mask, then it's going to be considered you didn't show up for your court date, and we'll put out a warrant for your arrest. And he's like, but you just said I could do it through Skype. And then you shut that down, and now you're saying if I don't do it wearing a mask, you're gonna put out a warrant for my arrest. So I mean, the system just, they have so many pitfalls for you. If you think you're smart and you want to go this way, they're like, throw a wrench in your works real quick. So he's going through that process. He said when he did get into court, he finally decided I better wear a mask and do this real quick. So he went in to do it, and he said, they give you a little mask, and he said, it didn't even fit all the way across his face, and his nose was hanging out. And he said, first thing they said was, pull that up over your nose. Get that covered up. It's like, okay, whatever. But he said he's reading through this and give him this plea deal, man. And he's like, but this says in here that, until the final, decree comes down that I'm on probation, basically. And if I get a ticket, if I do anything, then y'all are gonna suspend my deal and put out a warrant for my arrest. He says, that's not cool. You can't do that to me. And so You know, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. He's going to be fighting them. We'll see. Yeah, we've got to educate ourselves. We've got to. Crow 777 had a real good deal the other day about the law, and has a guy on there that's doing all this footwork for us. He's he's doing all these court cases. He's going to court for tickets. He's going to court for like code violations. He's going to court for all these things, and he's winning. And he knows how to do it. And so they've got a deal out. He's got a course out, and this guy who does it, you can take this course. The course is $250, but it's everything you need to know about filing a notice and getting yourself out of taxes and getting yourself out of things. And it's also got all the templates for filing motions, for filing, grievances, things like that. And so there's people out there doing the footwork for us. They're doing the footwork for us. So, I think I'm going to buy that course, and Alan and I are going to study on it and figure these things out so we can pass it on to y'all. And probably what I'll do is get that course and any of the forms on there, I'll print them out and I'll share them with everybody. So anybody that needs them can use them. But we're in a weird, this is weird times, man. Weird times. Where is the churches? Where are the 7 churches? Where are all the, in my whole lifetime, and I think all y'all agree, how many times have you heard, these are the signs? Wars and rumors of wars. Jerusalem's doing this and they're doing that. And oh, it's coming, it's coming. And not one biblical theologian has ever stood up and went, hey guys, it's not. That's not what's going on. Read your Bible. It doesn't say that. It tells you specifically, that Christ came back in that generation. Nowhere does it say it's a mystery when I'll return, and it could be 10 years. It could be 2,000 years. Oh, somebody leaving us? Somebody leaving? But yeah, come on. It's up to us, guys. Strong family, strong sphere of influence, and that's about all we can do. Right, yeah, Ella. They're doing that everywhere. I saw a deal in Canada. They arrested a preacher, and he got tried and he got convicted of endangering the public health for having a church meeting. Trying to say bye and hello to him. But the preacher up there in Canada, he got convicted. I think he got 3 or 4 months in jail for endangering the public health. I got in-laws up there in Canada, and it's so funny. They're cognitive dissidents that I've told my wife, I said, ask your sister, how bad is it getting up there? Do they feel them tightening the screws? And her sister, and I know they're not religious. They are not religious at all. And to talk to them and be like, man, we're in heaven. This is great. No worries here. No problems here. And so it's just like, really? Well, I know they're not having too much of problems because they're so compliant. They're very, very compliant. They won't step out of line. They never have. What was that? It's so hard to watch those things. Right. It's hard. Right. Al Qaeda can have their Twitter account, but Trump can't. What's up with that? What's up with that? I don't care if he's a mass murderer. He's an American. He should, he should get to have his freedom of speech. But no, no, no. I don't think so. I don't think so. You started a Reddit page for Fin Gap. Okay, I'm not on Reddit. I've never been on Reddit. Anybody else been on Reddit? I guess we're going to have to expand these platforms. We're going to have to go on different platforms. I'm going to have to sit down one day and get on BitChute and get on, what is it, Rumble. There's several others. Oh yeah, they're all actors. They're all actors. All right, good. Thank you. Thank you, Ella. I mean, what do we do, guys? All we can do is our best in our sphere of influence. I always say that. Our sphere of influence, good vibrations, discernment. We'll get through this. We'll get through this. No problem. It's it's all a matter of faith. It's all a matter of where your heart is. God knows your heart. I can't sit here and tell you anything that's going to get you through this. It's between you and God. So many people are looking for those answers, and they just won't get on their knees. That's where you're going to find your answers. Get on your knees and repent. Get right with the Lord. He loves you. He'd rather have you near him than far away, guys. That's where he wants you. And he will bless you if you just let him in your heart. He's there for you, guys. We do a good job of encouraging each other, and we do a good job of these consistent Bible studies and being in the Word. But when the computer screen goes off and the camera's off, it's just you and God. And you can enjoy videos of all the teachers, all the flat earthers, truthers. You can be deep into that and know every bit of it. But if you don't know God, it's useless to you. It's just going to be useless. You don't think that YouTube would do disinformation, would you? Oh, I watched a couple of things. Let me see if I can find this one video that this dude put out about San Francisco. Now, Alan has talked about San Francisco quite a bit, and I ran across the deal where this guy's. Where is that channel? I'm just the worst about this. I should have queued up these things, but then it just hits me. Then it just hits me. What did I do? Where was it? What is it? What is it? Let's see. I'll be able to find it here somewhere. I'm sure I will. Where is it? I know I've got it. I know I'm pitiful. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Which one was it? Let's do. Which one? Oh, here we go. This was it. Let's.
Introducing T-Mobile's hometown discount.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Switch today at your local store and get 25% off for life.
Stupid commercials. Not another one.
Cisco. One is at Presidio, which is a military cemetery, and the other one's Mission Dolores. They also have a columbarium where your ashes can be placed, as well as a pet cemetery, but those don't really count. Now, the question is, how does a city of 900,000 people get by with only 2 cemeteries? And what's even more concerning is that at one point in time, San Francisco had over 27 cemeteries. So what happened to all of those cemeteries, and more importantly, what happened to all the bodies? Now, the thing about cemeteries is that they require a lot of upkeep. And in order to finance and pay for that upkeep, you have to continuously sell plots. That brings the money rolling in, allows you to pay for maintenance and anything else that might need to be done in the cemetery. But due to the fact that there's only so much space in San Francisco, you can only sell so much land, so many plots. Eventually, you run out, and in doing so, you run out of cash flow, and therefore cannot maintain. As maintenance falls, more nefarious activities come into play. People grave rob. They steal the stones and resell them. They conduct rituals outside of the norm. And as San Francisco grew, land became a serious premium. And eventually the decision got made to do something about all of these cemeteries taking up all of that premium land. Additionally, in 1906, there was an earthquake in San Francisco, which resulted in thousands of people dying, and cemeteries began to overflow even more than they were before. And because most religions require burial instead of something like cremation, bodies were essentially piling up. And that meant graves were being used and reused multiple times, which has been happening for a long time, especially in Europe, where land is really at a premium. So the solution was that 14 cemetery associations founded the town of Colma, which I'm standing in right now. And in 1914, an eviction notice was placed on all of the graves in San Francisco, which meant that 155,000 souls at rest had to move and make way for the living. Now, once excavation and transportation began, if a body was claimed by a family member, they had to pay $10 to move the tombstone to the new city of Colma. But seeing as how most of the graves in San Francisco were those of immigrants, loners, miners, just mostly single men that came to strike their fortune in California, they didn't really have a family to speak up for them or pay that $10, which meant that those bodies ended up in a mass grave and the tombstones were sold as building materials. Now, moving that many bodies means that there's probably going to be shortcuts made, and of course there were. Even today, bodies are being found during excavation for new construction, more recently at the University of San Francisco. And all of that brings us here to Colma, the city of souls, the city of the silent. With a population of 1.5 million, only about 1,500 are actually living, which means that there's a 1,000 to 1 ratio of dead to living here in this city. And in fact, almost everyone who does live here resides in a several block section of town on the northern end, whereas the rest of the space is devoted to 17 cemeteries, as well as a whole bunch of box stores and car dealerships. But it's mostly cemeteries. And these cemeteries are for everyone. There's Serbian, Greek, Jewish, Catholic, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, as well as a pet cemetery. Some of them have over 40,000 graves, and a lot of famous residents, including Wyatt Earp, William Randolph Hearst, the newspaper magnate, Levi Strauss, as well as Joe DiMaggio, and even Phineas Gage, who was an oddity in a sense that he had a pole shot through the front of his face and out top of his head, destroyed his frontal lobe, and he continued living for years despite this, although it affected his mood a little bit. And remember that part where I said that if you couldn't pay the $10 during the moving, that your headstone ended up being used and sold for building materials? Well, you can find them scattered around the city. At low tide, you can find them at the aquatic park Breakwater in the Marina District. You can find them essentially as gutters lining the path of Buena Vista Park. And most recently, they've been used in the wave organ, which goes to show that the saying, "It's great to be alive in Colma," rings pretty true. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. That's crazy. But San Francisco is that's pretty crazy. All that stuff in San Francisco there. But we're together in this, guys. You're not alone. So many people feel like they're alone, but they're not. We've done our due diligence, so let's not be discouraged. What does the Bible tell us? Be of good cheer. You have the Lord on your side. No reason. Here's a quick little one. I think I'll show this one. I thought this was interesting. I had never seen this before, and I thought it was interesting. This is pretty cool. And honestly, y'all might have, but I never heard of this before. This was new to me.
Today we're here in the Swift Creek Canyon, which is part of the Star Valley, just east of Afton, Wyoming. And behind me is what appears to be a relatively quiet stream. But in about 10 minutes, it's going to be like someone turned the faucet on from inside the ledge behind me, and a whole river is going to come spewing out of the rock face. That's because this is the world's largest intermittent spring, or rhythmic spring, or breathing spring. What that means is every 15 minutes the spring turns off, and 15 minutes later it turns back on. And a whole river runs down through this canyon, and then it disappears and stops. Now, according to a hydrologist from the University of Utah, what's happening is behind me in the rock face is actually a cavern that's filling with spring water. And from that cavern is essentially a rock pipe that leads to the face right behind me. As that cavern fills with water, it reaches the top of that pipe, and as it overflows, it creates a siphoning effect. Now, when that happens, the hydraulic effect pulls the water out of that cavern and creates a river, which runs for about 15 minutes, technically 12 to 18 minutes. Eventually, that siphon is broken once air reaches the pipe, and it breaks off and the cavern fills again. In another 12 to 18 minutes, it starts the process all over again. Intermittent springs are relatively uncommon. There's only about 100 known in the world, this one being the largest. One of the more famous intermittent springs is the Githon Spring in the city of David, Jerusalem, and it's hypothesized that the city was founded there because of the spring. It no longer runs intermittently, and it's now artificially pumped to create the rhythmic process. The history of rhythmic springs actually dates back to about 79 AD, where Pliny the Younger, who wrote about the Vesuvius mountain eruption, actually wrote about an intermittent spring that's still there today on the same exact schedule he wrote about. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like or a comment or subscribe.
So I thought that was pretty cool. I've never seen those. That was pretty neat. But we what time is it? Oh wow. Jeez, we've almost gone an hour. Alan's used to me sitting in the garage drinking coffee with the door up, and I haven't presented yet. Alan, are you there? I don't know that he saw I put up a video. But hey guys, thanks for everybody coming on. That's all I had today. Just look at the news. I cannot believe that someone has been sentenced for burning a Black Lives Matter freaking flag, man. That just drives me crazy. That just, wow, how does this happen? Hey, Shucks, what's up? Everybody, yeah, y'all have a blessed day. I may jump on with Alan today or tonight, but we love y'all. Good vibrations, discernment. Take care of your own people. Love you all. Bye.